Hey Barry, all the podcasters are dying.
But we make a podcast. Well, you're still alive, so that's cool. You know what I was getting at, right?
Yeah. They definitely got that quote. They know. They know in the movie.
Oh my god. What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
This is going.
And this is Who Watches Us. Kobe, I think you have to introduce the new month.
That's right. We got a new month, a new theme. Last week we were joking that we've done a bunch of actors months. We've done Nick Cage month. We did Danny Trejo month.
Robert Pattinson.
But we have not done an actress. And an actress I really, really like. Think she's totally underrated. Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised. I thought you were gonna go with Charlize Theron, because she has a pretty wide variety of movies.
Yeah.
As well, so Rosario Dawson is a surprise.
Yeah, I was trying to not pick somebody who's just big, huge, blockbuster. I know she's getting there.
She's pretty big.
She is, but
she was in Kids.
To me, she's like the female side of Leguizamo, because we always talk about how that's a guy who just doesn't get the props for
that's
for
a
the
fucking
amount
actor right there.
for the amount of talent he has, and I always kind of felt that with her too. She's never really gotten that big break to.
No, yeah, that's true, because you see her in things, but rarely is she ever the forerunner. Of something.
I figured that out when I was this will be easy to put 4 movies together for the month, and then I was like, oh, she's not really the star of anything. There's a couple TV shows she's
Daredevil,
Asuka. There's one called
Asuka. Yeah, the Star Wars.
Yeah. There's
Ahsoka. Did she play? Is she in the Ghost in the Shell?
There was one called
yeah.
There's another Netflix one. It was a series. It was 6 episodes.
Was it 8 Cents or something? I don't know.
No, that was good.
Was she in that one?
But there was one though. She was. Oh man, I can't remember. I'll tell you next week.
Yeah.
And then she's done a bunch of voices. I also didn't realize how much voice acting work she's done.
Oh yeah.
She's got more than 100 different things in her credits.
We really gotta look into how to do this voice acting thing. That's how you move in silence.
Right.
Oh, but yeah, because my earliest memories of her is Kids, and I was like, that's probably shouldn't be anyone's earliest memory. The movie is it's terrifying, and for realistic reasons, and freaking He Got Game. With the basketball legend Ray Allen.
Yeah.
You got to see her boobs in that one. I was like, oh, man, what a. But no, but I always feel like I always enjoy Rosario Dawson in whatever she's in.
Right.
Yeah.
And she can do action. She can do comedy.
She does comedy so well, too.
Yeah, it's just big talent.
Yeah.
I had never seen this one. And I won't say anything.
Heard of this,
yeah, I won't, because I know you got your little rhyme diddly do.
Oh yeah, no, I think we got to continue on with the Weird Al.
Yeah.
So this hits from 2014. Gives you a little hint of what this movie is. I'm not gonna sing it. I feel like I'm gonna do the lyrics, but I'm gonna do it in the cadence of the song. So. We're going with top hits.
Okay.
So it's not too hard. All right. I want to live like there's still tomorrow. I don't want to die in this dingy basement. This dingy basement. And of course, I took the cash. It was a whole milli. Can you really believe? If I was a Game of Thrones character, my name would be Chilean. Because we're talking about parts per billion. Name me that cadence, Colby. Oh, before Colby names the cadence, probably. But we're talking about the 2014 movie Parts Per Billion.
Yeah.
Now, can you name me that song? Here, let me put a little bit more feeling into it. I feel like I was like, this needs the feeling. I want to live like tomorrow will exist.
Yeah. I know that song, but
It is Sia's Chandelier. I think I gotta put the feeling in it.
If we go play trivia at the bar, we gotta bring somebody else for the music, because I recognize songs, but I am. Name that song, name that artist. That is not my forte.
As long as it's not too obscure, I can do pretty decent. You know, Billboard hits and obscure hip hop. But we're talking about the 2014 ensemble cast. I feel like this was like the time of ensemble movies.
Right?
You know,
there's a bunch of big names. Oh, I say that. A couple of these may not have been big names at the time.
Oh, yeah, but okay, so let's go off with the first biggest names probably. And I have to say it's probably because of TV, right?
Right.
So, Rosario Dawson's been working. Josh Hartnett is one of the bigger names.
Oh, right. This is actually almost his,
before he took his break?
Yeah, I'm kind of done acting. Let's throw this one last movie in before I...
Oh, but he's came back.
Has he? Has he done more stuff?
Oh, yeah. Right now, I just saw the trailer for his new movie, Trap, coming out in August with M. Night Shyamalan.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been coming back. Oppenheimer. He was Black Mirror.
Oh, I do remember him in Black Mirror. Yeah. I have not seen Oppenheimer.
What's it called? Well, he's in the TV series Die Hard with Kevin Hart.
Not seen that.
Drunk History. Yeah, he's been I think he's been slowly coming back. He's not doing anything huge, but just picking up projects here and there. Good for him.
Yeah, because when it was faculty time of when about that movie came out.
He was a teen heartbeat.
Right. Yeah.
Every girl in my high school was wet for Josh Hartnett.
No one wore
oversized long sleeves.
Long sleeves with a t-shirt over top better than him. He was the hottest skater.
Right. He was also in Halloween. Yep. H2O.
Yeah.
Josh Hartnett is probably one of the bigger names in here with Rosario Dawson. More recently, Penn Badgley. Even though he was in Gossip Girl,
was huge.
International success. Everyone likes to do that. Hello, you.
Yep.
I feel like in everybody's head, that's their monologue now when they're kind of creeping on a person. No, Frank Langella.
Right.
Is big too.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Gina Rollins, was she the woman in what was it called? The Notebook? His wife in this movie?
Oh,
she's R.I.P. I guess. Sorry. Oh, yeah, it was the woman in the Notebook.
Yep.
Yeah, so
good eye.
Yeah, I was like, is that Notebook?
It's been a hot minute since I've seen the
Notebook. Hill Harper, huge TV star as well. He's always in those doctor shows.
Right. Yep.
Alexis Bledel from Gilmore Girls. One of the most toxic shows, I gotta say, ever.
That was the sister?
That was
the daughter? Okay.
They look she was a teen mom and then she had the daughter. Yeah. Yeah. So like that's pretty much gonna. Oh, and Teresa Palmer, who everyone kind of like, is that Kristen Stewart?
Oh, right. Yes, because we talked about that when we did Warm Bodies.
Yeah. For some reason, huge crush on Teresa Palmer. Not so huge on Kristen Stewart. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I think I watched her in I Am Number 4 first.
Okay, yeah.
That's the first time I saw her. Then I saw her in Take Me Home Tonight. And I was like, she's cute. And then someone told me, like, that's just blonde Kristen Stewart. I was like, yeah, but like, it works for her. And then I think it's maybe because she's like Australian or something. I know she's not like American. Yeah, South Australia. I think that's it's the accent.
It's the shrimps and the bobby.
Yeah. And it's like I don't know. She's on the border of looking sort of drugged out, but not as much as Kristen Stewart. But yeah. But let's talk about this movie now. This movie is very it's hard to do in a more linear sense. But how about I do a overscope of what this movie is encompassing first before we start to talk about our
right, because there's
couples.
like an overlying story, and then there's basically the life of 3 different couples that they kind of flash through that have a tie together, but that they're
very loose.
Loose, yeah.
Yeah, and so this movie takes place in a world that's spiraling into a viral, like, airborne epidemic.
Yeah.
And so we follow 3 couples in different stages of their relationships.
Right.
Which is really the main point. Like, the world-ending situation is sort of just, it's there.
Yeah.
But it's like
it's like how, here's a disaster. How would you handle it at 3 stages of your life?
Yeah. Tell you right now, every stage of my life, it's gonna be the same.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, the young kid, the youngest couple, probably did it the best. So let's go from youngest to oldest, and I think that's gonna be the best way to do this because this movie's. It's all over. I didn't know where I was in the timeline. Did you?
It flips a lot. Some of the timelines were like the oldest couple. The timeline felt much more easy to follow. Well, because they're old and they had. Were having medical issues, so like it was
They're
easy
at the end of their life.
No, but it was like easy. It was like, oh, here, look, they look healthy. Oh, here they look a little unhealthy. Oh, here they're in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Like so, it was really distinct. Like which.
Yeah, but like again, it's also because like they're so let's do the family tree first, right? Let's do that. Let's talk about how these people are interconnected. That way, it's not as confusing as I'm doing it. So we have Penn Badgley and Teresa Palmer, who are a young couple,
right? In
the lamb of their life. They're at the height of their sex drive, right? And Penn Badgley is related to what's it called? I love Frank in that movie with him and the robot. But his grandpa is Andy, who is a part of the older couple. They are related, and obviously Esther, his grandmother, are related to Penn Badgley, and Teresa Palmer is with Eric, who Penn Badgley.
She's like throughout the movie, she becomes the fiance. Yeah, I don't know if they ever get married.
No, I don't think they do. I think they're still in the fiance stage, and so that's how those 4 people are interconnected. Right. And then, what's it called? And then we have Josh Hartnett and Rosario Dawson, who are a married couple. But as a movie, well, let's not talk about their situation right now. Rosario Dawson is a lawyer, and she is the lawyer of Andy. Right. We're just gonna do their real names, Frank. Right. Yeah, right. It's gonna be way easier like that. And that's really the only person that she's really connected to within these 6 people. Right. Right. But Josh Hartnett, who he is best friends with Hill Harper. Hill Harper has a very small role in this, but also he is also the brother of Alexis, Gilmore Girls,
Right.
and that's how he's connected to those two outer people, and and then Hill Harper has like a small little interaction with Teresa Palmer for some strange reason. I was like, this is really weird portion right here.
It's the way to explain a little bit about her mental functioning.
Yeah, it was
because without
that, you're like, what's wrong with this girl?
Yeah, you're like, this girl weird.
And what's it called? And Alexis is connected to Frank and Gina because she is their nurse.
Right.
Throughout that movie. So that's
and
how...
Josh Hartnett's sister.
Yeah, and Josh Hartnett's sister. So that is the family tree for the most part of this whole thing. There's another small character with Jay. Well, we can talk about that as we go on with the story. But let's go with Teresa Palmer and Penn Badgley. We do start off the movie with them as well. Right. And so there's this couple. Penn Badgley is this, like, you know, he's pretending broke musician, even though his grandpa is like a millionaire.
Yes. Yeah, he's a starving musician who lives in a pretty nice studio in New York.
Or something.
Wherever.
Philadelphia or whatever. A metropolitan city.
Funded by grandpa.
Well, like, you know, he tries to, like, you know, as you watch the movie, he tries to be like, no, Grandpa, I need to starve so I can become great.
Right, yeah.
But, you know, but so, like, you know, they start off their morning. It seems pretty, like, it seems like they're fighting a little bit because Penn Badgley he didn't wash the dishes. Yeah. And they go to like a nice little breakfast spot, probably, you know, get a cream cheese bagel or egg, bacon, and cheese or whatever.
Yeah, just like a little morning.
Yeah, and Teresa Palmer is like kind of cute about it. She's like using the dishes as a metaphor. She's like, well, you grew up with maids, so that's why you don't understand the significance of the dishes. But then the dishes aren't even. And then Pam Badger's like, It's not really about the dishes. It's a metaphor. She's like, how'd you know I was going to say that? But, like, she's, like, kind of, like, in the height of her, like, honeymoon stage of this fiancé situation. Yeah. Because she's just, like, it's going to be so cute because, like, you know, in the future, we'll be, like, looking back at this and, like, remember when we just had arguments about dishes?
Right.
Which is like, you know, it's a cute memory until someone cheats on somebody, you know, and there's like, oh, I should have known.
Bagel.
Yeah. Lipstick on the mug. I should have known.
Oh, that's what you meant by dirty dish.
But all of a sudden, a woman interjects in their whole meeting.
Right. Yep.
And Teresa Palmer is obviously being left out of this whole conversation. So she just ditches Penn Badgley. She's
it's an awkward situation because he's like, you know, he's all like, oh, hey, it's somebody from my past I'm gonna talk to, and
you could tell Teresa Palmer is clearly uncomfortable with this whole situation.
Right. So she's like, I'm gonna just go to the restroom, and when she does, the girl sits down
on her seat.
Yep.
That harlot.
Yeah.
That Jezebel.
And so she's just like, I'm out the back door. Boom.
Yeah, I would too, though.
Right.
I was like, you know what? Fine. Fuck him. Whatever. But then Pedro comes home, and he comes home with the food. She's like, oh, did you and her enjoy my food?
Yeah. Yep.
As she's doing the dirty dishes. And they're having... Yeah. And they're having this huge fight, and Teresa Palmer is like, expressing, or like Penn Badger's like, what, I'm not supposed to be nice to somebody just because I fucked them in the past? It's like, yeah, dude. Right. Because then it's like, how would you like it if someone's dick had been in your girlfriend's mouth and she's being all nice to him? But in the middle of the argument, he's like, whoa, wait, hold on. Inspo.
Yeah.
And he starts, like, making a song, and he's just like...
Right, and she starts to get offended that he's, like, she's kind of yelling at him, and then all of a sudden he's, like, playing a tune, and she's like, you don't even care, you don't even want to listen to me. And he's like, no. When inspiration hits, you got to go with it, and the words you just said, that's the lyrics to our song.
Oh, God. This is the disconnect, right? This is what she's talking about.
Yeah.
That he never had to do dishes.
Right.
Fucking rude. But like it's like it's kind of a cute, like, she kind of like cools down,
Right.
just because of how like he has like this very golden retriever type of energy about it, how excited he is about it, and he's not disregarding her feelings, but it is true. Like when you're like a creative person, you're like, if I don't write this down now, it's gonna leave.
Right. Yeah.
So, it kind of passes, and he's like, "What's up? Do you want to hear it?" We do get like, this is where it kind of gets muddied for this timeline, because then now we're going with flashbacks, right? Oh, sorry. One thing I do have to mention though is like during their routine, they stop by a music store, and she's looking at this guitar pick, and it starts to kind of like mess with her.
Yeah, it's like red and black, kind of swirly, but like she seems that it looks like flamey.
Yeah, she's like seeing like shapes and patterns and all that stuff, and it really zones her out.
Right.
And so like, yeah, but like, oh, okay. So we get into parts of this where like they go meet the grandparents for the first time, and she's like, what if they don't like me and all this stuff, and he's just like, don't worry, they're gonna love you, like. And they do, like, the grandma ends up really enjoying her time.
Right, yeah.
With Teresa Palmer. Meanwhile, Penn Badgley is with Frank. And Frank is like, here's 50 grand, Here's a check for 50 grand. Here's somebody's whole yearly salary.
Yeah, yeah.
And he
is. He's like, well, hey, well, you looking for a job? And the guy's and he's just like, no. I'm going to go to this music festival, and there's a lot of promoters and stuff there, so I might get picked up. And Grandpa's just like, yeah, what? Why rush it? Yeah, just you get all the time in the world. Just.
Oh, that must be so nice.
But it came like I heard it. It came across snarky. It was just like, yep. Why would you rush to try to make something of yourself? Yeah.
Well, okay, because if you think about it, right, we do later learn on that Penn Badgley's parents had died in a car accident or something. Yeah. And so, like, the grandparents have been taking care of him. They really do love Eric. Penn Badgley, they dote on him. And, like, I understand, like, it could come off snarky, but it's also, like, we do learn later on why he's just so willing to give, obviously you want to give your grandkids and your kids, whatever, everything that you can.
Right.
But there's also, like, a hidden, like, I feel like a more hidden reason why he's so, like, oh, here's take 50K or whatever.
Yeah.
And well, first of all, he kind of disguises it as like, well, women say they love a starving artist until they start wanting nice shit.
Basically, yeah.
And so, like,
and he's like, oh no, she's not like that. He's like, no, of course she's not like that.
No.
But every woman kind of wants a man to take care of them.
Yeah, and like, which is a fair assessment. Like, it's hard. You could only be a broke, starving artist for so long.
Right.
Or you have like a really good stroke game, like no one's made her nut like that, and she's just like, well, I can't let you out into the world. I've already told my friends about you. I
feel like you still eventually have to have
food,
some kind of success.
But no, like, as they're having their little conversation, Penn Badgley rips up the check.
Yeah,
because like from a young perspective, and you want to do this, you're trying to make it work, and so you kind of like, you're afraid if you have that cushion, you're not going to be that hungry.
Right.
And that's probably where he's coming from. But Frank is like, oh, well, you don't want my dirty money? You think this is because of me? And he gets really upset, like a switch.
Right. And at that point in the movie, you don't.
You're like,
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but so like after that, Penn Badgley and Teresa Palmer, they end up going, I think, to a party or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And it's a very cute, like, it's like what you do with your partner. You're kind of like, you're like messing around with each other, and like you're kind of judging other couples' homes together. Like,
right, and they're like, oh, this is so nice. And then they ask about crackers, and they go like, oh, the crackers in the cabinet. And they open the cabinet, and the cabinet is like just stuffed full, and they're like, oh.
It's like when you tell a girl, like,
took all their garbage and they just stuck it in the cabinets so nobody would see it.
It just reminds me of the times where you're bringing like a girl's coming over,
right? Yeah,
you're like, I gotta clean this place fast.
Yeah, totally. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they start making jokes they're like, oh, is this like the dishes? Should I clean their cabinets?
Yeah, it's a very cute interaction. You're like, oh, wait, hold on, let's not act like we're better than them. We are. It's like things that you don't say to anybody. You say it between, it's a nice little couple situation. But later, Teresa Palmer kind of has a spell. And I kind of want we probably have to speed this up a little bit. I've been kind of slow about it. She has a spell, and she kind of she kind of zones out. She starts walking until she ends up on a bench.
Right. Yeah.
And this is where what's his name, Harper, Mr. Harper, Hill Harper, comes all of a sudden, stranger, and he's like, "Hey, are you okay?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Was I talking to myself?" And he's like, "No, you look gone." And then this is where we kind of learned that she has the gene for schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Because she's like, this is usually around the time or age
when the symptoms start to appear,
which is very terrifying.
Right.
And she also tells Hill Harper, like, I'm pregnant. And it's like, I just haven't told anybody yet, and I just don't know what's going to happen and all this stuff, and I don't...
Right. And then all of a sudden it makes more sense when she's looking at that black and red gold, or the black and red guitar pick, why it looks like it's on fire, because she
is seeing things.
Yeah, because she's having a little bit of an episode.
Yeah, she gotta get that dog. Have you seen those dogs? They have those schizophrenia dogs. Where
no,
I think it's I don't know if it's relatively new, but maybe it's maybe the past 15 years they've been trying to train dogs. Like, if you're having an episode, a dog is supposed to, they train the dog to stay by you if there's nothing there or something. I forgot how.
Okay.
Situation. Oh, that's pretty cool. Right. But so later, I got to speed a little bit through this, but so Penn Badge, they have this little cute moment again in the bathtub where they're kind of making fun of this I don't know, industrial shampoo.
Right, and she's like, it's
Google
got
Translate.
it's got weird quotes and stuff on it. And she's like, it's like the most, because she reads poetry all the time, and she's like, wow, the most profound thing I've read in years is on a stupid shampoo bottle.
Yeah, and they have this moment in there, and then again they also have another this is. We do as their storyline progresses, they understand that there's some sort of war going on. And there's a lot of people dying.
The war thing is very vague. They're just like, hey, there's war in the Middle East, and they've been using biological weapons.
Yeah,
but we're across the ocean, so nothing for us to worry about. Just don't start praying for your friends that live in Europe, because that's close. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, weird wind patterns have started to carry this biological pathogen over the ocean, and we've had some illnesses in Pennsylvania, New York area.
Yeah, a lot of people are dying. And
then and it's one of those things where it's once you breathe it in, it's relatively quick, and you're not contagious, but you just die. You just pass on.
Yeah. And you are. As you're dead, you're
it's an airborne, and that's the title of because it's
all parts per billion, because it's like a dilution, right? It's like a chemical ratio formula or whatever, right?
Yep.
I mean, I'm pretty sure the dead bodies could possibly be contagious because you fart when you die. You're like, but and so they end up they make love again, but then by the end of their storyline, they're dead.
Right.
I mean, Penn Badgley's inside of her.
Yeah, die making love.
Which got to be the best way to go out.
Right.
Just kind of just die. Hopefully they orgasm before that. But let's move on to our next storyline, which is Rosario Dawson and Josh Hartnett. I'm going to do this chronologically as much as I can remember. So Josh Hartnett and Rosario Dawson are sort of having a strife in their marriage, and that's because would they go to a gala or regatta gala or whatever.
Well, so it starts off where he's working and putting her through school,
Oh yeah.
And then she gets out and becomes a
lawyer.
But then his position gets tendered, and he's working, but he's struggling to find a
new career.
Yeah.
And
So it's that kind of that change of
power dynamic.
Power dynamic starts the strife, and then
and then they go to this gala, and he's just like, I don't really like going to these. It's
right.
Pretentious people. This is your world. I understand you want me to be a part of it. I'm not really comfortable. And this fucker over here, Jay, keeps fucking giving you fuck me eyes and all that stuff. And, they have like this huge blowout at this gala. But then she, they meet outside, and she's just like, fuck all these people.
Right.
You're the only one that matters to me. Kind of has to like calm him down, because there's a lot of emotions happening for him. Maybe he feels inadequate.
Right. It definitely feels demasculated because now there's all these successful men that she's working with, and he's struggling to find himself again.
Which, I mean, like, bro, you just be like, petition to be a household husband. You know what I'm saying? I would love to be a house father. Well, what? You need breakfast every morning? Don't worry, babe.
Right. He's doing the dishes.
Yeah, I'll do the dishes all day. You know what I'm saying? I'll get the bath ready for you when you get home. Only because then you could kind of like work on like your hobbies and stuff. Right. That's kind of like fun for me. But but for in the more traditional sense, it does make sense that he feels emasculated. He feels insecure about his position, and probably feels like it can get taken away at any point. But it does put this huge strain on their relationship, you know, because Josh Hartnett goes to his sister, and he's just like, there's just nothing out there. Which I understand, Josh Hartnett. In 2024, 10 years later, there really isn't anything out there.
I really like, there's a lot of this movie that's even more relevant in 2024 than it was in 2014.
Yeah, and what's it called? We see Rosario Dawson. She's like, they're talking about this whole litigation thing, and we see a young picture of Frank.
Right.
We have like little glimpses of their kind of relationship, but I feel like that's more present in Frank's storyline than in Rosario Dawson's. But when Rosario Dawson is in the office, they're like, "Hey, we're closing it."
Yeah.
So everybody
pack it up, and we're all going home.
Mm-hmm. And so she calls Josh Hartnett, who's playing basketball with Hill Harper,
right.
And she leaves him voice message like, "Hey, watch the TV, turn the TV on, meet me at the house, please hurry up, this and that." And then while she's in the elevator, Jay is there,
right?
And she's like, "Hey, listen, maybe in another life it could have been something, but I love my husband."
Right, and he's kind of like, "Hey, if the world's ending, who do you want to be with? You want to go home to the loser, or you want to be here with me?"
Well, if the world's ending, it doesn't, like, status really doesn't fucking matter, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
Okay, what a dick, bro. I was, like, so mad at that scene. But, no, and so both of these people are struggling to get home.
Right, yeah.
Right? Rosario Dawson almost kind of gets in an accident a little bit, like a small accident, because everyone at this point is freaking out.
Right. Right.
We do, at this point in the movie, we do get to see some symptoms, and people are just, like, falling.
Yeah, so it's like they're getting drowsy and then a little dizzy, and then they fall over, and boom, they're already gone.
Yeah, because Alexis calls Josh Hartnett, and she's like, "Hey, you got to get home quick. Do you have, like, filters at the house? Or, like, is the air tank still in the attic and all that stuff?" And
right.
Just go into the basement, hole up there.
And she's like, the stuff that they're saying on the news isn't accurate. Like, you listen to me. Get into the house. Get into, like, the basement where, put the air filters on. Tape up the windows. I remember when they did that whole thing back in the Gulf War. They were like, "Oh, there might be chemical warfare. Make sure you have duct tape so you can tape up the windows."
That's right, man. And then, like, some people do it too well, and they suffocate.
Right.
But, like, at this point in the movie, too, you understand why she knows so much, because in Frank's storyline, Frank is like, "It's okay. It's a pathogen."
Right.
But no, and so like so they do finally get to meet up back at home, and this is where like Josh Hartnett is like he's shining, because
right.
Rosario Dawson is like in shock,
Yeah,
and she's like she doesn't know what to do. And Josh Hartnett's like we're gonna do this. We're gonna go to the basement, and like it's gonna be 8 days. That's what I heard. That's what I believe his sister has said.
Yep.
It's gonna take 8 to 10 days for the pathogen to either subside or pass, and then we'll be fine. We'll be okay, So just and she's like just following him because he's being a man.
Yeah, he is.
Being an alpha.
And she's having the little like weird panic attacks. Like, oh, we always try to eat healthy. We don't even have anything with carbs in it. He's like, don't worry, babe. I got a chocolate bar in my pocket. That's all for you.
I got one chocolate bar. It's not even the good kind. It's probably like a Quest bar. No, and then so they have this whole, it's these movies only like an hour and 35, so probably like an hour 28 after credits and stuff like that.
Yeah,
something like that. So like but like as they're having this whole thing in the basement, it's kind of like Rosario Dawson's going through this existential crisis, and Josh Hartnett is like in survival mode.
Right. Yeah, because she's like, we are going to run out of food, and then we're going to just die. Yeah. And he's like, no way. We just ration. We save. Hey, we're looking for 8 days. If it gets to 7 days and we're going to starve to death, I'll sneak out of here. I'll find some food. I'll
but you could starve for a day.
Right. Well, I'll keep you safe. Yeah. Hey, things have probably calmed down by 7 days. Scientists aren't always right.
Yeah, but he's like, if it was me, I'm staying there for 12. Give me 12 days. That Quest bar go a long way.
A little Hershey bar, you're like 1 square a day.
All right, it's gonna be like that scene with Mickey and Donald and Goofy where they're slicing that bread super thin.
Yep.
It's gonna be like that, cause like, listen, I gotta 8 days. I gotta give you like at least like 3 to 4 day buffer.
Right.
Only one way, not the other way. But then so Josh Hartnett finally calms her down, and then she's just like, okay, and she's like, at this point she's like, she just wants to get everything off her chest.
Right. Yeah.
And so she's like, Jay at my law firm, and Josh Hartnett he's already going through the 100 things that a man will ever go through.
Right.
What's don't worry about that guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, in my head I was like, did she fuck him?
That's exactly what I was thinking too. It was like,
and she's like, Jay fell in love with me, and I didn't shut that down. I kind of let him believe that there was a chance.
Yeah, nothing ever happened. I never touched him. I never kissed him. But I enjoyed the attention, and I never told him.
Was it just even from the attention? Maybe it's also from his position as well.
Right. Oh yeah. Again, because that's
yeah.
When your husband's all feeling all moody and depressed because he's out of a job, and you have somebody successful who's doting over you, like you just kind of you accept that.
See, and this is like where we need to train. Like, if you have a son, you got to raise him right. Because if he doesn't have a job, you got to keep an upbeat attitude, and you gotta clean the house, you gotta cook, you gotta make it look like you're busy doing the effort.
I hate to say like toxic masculinity, all that kind of stuff, but a girl doesn't want you if you're a bitch.
Yeah,
you
can't be mopey. Like, it's fine to be vulnerable once in a while.
Right. Yeah, you get a day, 2 days tops in a row. You don't get 3 months.
Yeah, but it's not
unless like your mom just died or something. But you
gotta it's just all about the attitude.
Right.
It's like, she doesn't want to come home to you and be like, oh man, life is hard right now because I don't have a job. You'd be like, no, I'm sorry. I'm really looking, babe, but I got dinner ready. The house is clean. You're dry cleaning and all. You just got to be a maid, because it's the same situation. Me and my mom, my mom had always raised me. It's like, if you ever stay at someone's house, leave it cleaner than when you got it.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yep.
And that's the same attitude you got to just do with everything, right? But they kind of get past it, but towards the end,
yeah, she definitely she gets into the
fever.
that the cabin fever, that mindset that, hey, it's been days since I've even heard a car. Everybody else in the world is dead. Nobody knew anything. Your sister told you inside information, and everybody else in town is dead. And he's like, hey, we'll go. We're going 8 days. We'll go to the lake. We'll go to the dock. We'll get on a boat. Yeah. We'll pick the boat of our choice. We'll just cruise till we find people, you know. Yeah. And she's like, I don't want to step over dead bodies to get on a boat to just watch a bunch of, you know, drive around and see a bunch more dead bodies. She's just like, the world's not worth living if it's, you know,
just us.
Yeah.
You want to be Adam and Eve? You want to start it all? It was like, first of all, the hubris on this woman to think that they're the only ones that could have survived. Right. All right? Relax.
Right, because she's like, I don't even really want kids. So we can't be Adam and Eve and start the population over again.
We do see, like, in a flashback that at a certain point in their life, she did say, like, maybe I want your kids. I know, like, when we got together, when we got married, I said, don't get with me if you want kids, but I can have a few yours, you know?
Right. Yep.
You know, it's just good dick, you know, that changes a person's mind. But no, and yeah, she's having this fucking crisis, and she just gives up. What a fucking quitter, you know?
Yeah, she
couldn't hack it as a man.
She's like, we'll sleep here tonight, and then in the morning, I don't care. I just want to go outside and lay in the grass under the sun, and if I die, I die.
And he's like, just give it a couple more days.
right. It's that was the one thing. It was 8 days. It's not like 80 days, you know. And we're at day 50, and there's still 30 days left to go. You know,
even a year. Like, you can give me a whole year underground, and if you tell me that it takes 10 months for this thing to pass, right? I'll go the extra 2 more months just in case,
right?
Because, like, there's still so much life to live. And it's like, and now there's the population has been cold. So now the air's going to be cleaner. Food's going to be cheaper.
It's so dumb. You say that and you're like, that's ridiculous. But the world shut down for like 3 weeks because of COVID. And they were like, everybody has to stay at home. Nobody's allowed to work unless you're an essential worker or whatever. Yeah. And it was like, there was like the largest breeding of sea turtles ever, because there was like people not in the ocean. Like dolphins had returned to like the like places, marinas and coves and stuff. And they were like,
well, it was 3 months. The initial one was 3 weeks.
Right.
And then the 3 months.
Yeah.
Air was cleaner. Like, wasn't it like the rivers in like that one Italian city was like actually like see-through?
Yes, yeah.
Crazy. It's crazy how much of a virus we are to this planet. The ultimate parasite.
Earth, yeah.
But yeah, so just imagine like, and it's what we talked about, like real estate will be a lot cheaper. We were talking about this during our special special fifth Sunday episode where the Thanos snap situation.
Right.
Just think about it, man. We can go back to like the days where like a house was like 50,000 or something like. It's so crazy.
Yeah, when you have 3 houses for every person and not one house for every 300 people. Yeah, you know, it's
because if you think about like this pathogen is obviously gonna sweep the entire world or something before it dies out. Yeah, it's probably cold. A couple million at least, like maybe like.
They said in Europe it was 250 million people died.
Holy shit! So just think about in America.
Yeah.
I don't think I always think our population is huge, and then I think about like India and shit like that.
Right.
But like think about it, that's probably around the same numbers that we're probably maybe a little 500,000 or something. I don't know, or like 500 million. No, probably like around 200 million or something as well too. You never know. Obviously West Coast is all dead because no one has basements over here.
Right.
It's all Midwest people.
But then you never saw
you don't know where they are.
Right. As soon as people started dying, they were like, "Oh, news broadcasts have stopped."
Yeah. So you never
power
know.
is out, so it was you didn't get if the wind blew it across the country or if it.
But and so she kind of just gives up, but Josh Hartnett is pleading with her, please don't go. And that whole that story's done.
Yeah.
Hill Harper dies in a convenience store, which is trash. Cuz they're selling survival kits for $200,
Right.
cash only.
Yep.
And he's like, we're done, we're closing. And he's like, come on, man, let me just have this, like.
Right.
And somebody just shoots him.
Right.
I was like, well, now you're just a murderer, guy. Like, like he was probably gonna die the moment he got outside anyway.
Right. And it's this weird twist because he had dinged up Josh Hartnett's Jeep.
Yeah.
And so they were playing basketball to see whether he had to pay him back or not.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, yep, I made the shot. So, he's like, okay, here's your money to fix your Jeep.
Yeah, it just sucked, man. It just sucked for him to just get
He gets
popped.
there to buy the survival kit and can't because he just lost his money didn't lose his money. He just paid Josh back.
Yeah, his money. And so, but let's get to the main couple, probably the most important people or the most important person in this whole storyline, which is Frank. Because during his storyline, we learned that he was the one that actually developed the pathogen for this company.
Right. Yeah. So, he got paid an exorbitant amount of money to come work at this company, and he wasn't directly working on the pathogen. He was just a bioengineer, and they kept kind of asking, hey, we have this problem with this thing. And so inadvertently he's like helping out like his colleagues, and because of his help they created this.
I feel like he had to be like the head though, just because of the weight that he carried throughout the whole movie. I feel like he was like the head of that like project. We never get a clear distinction.
You don't really, but it was like, because he kind of says like, he's like, I'm not, he's like, I didn't invent it, but it wouldn't have gotten invented without me.
Well, then he might have been like the biggest factor. You know?
And
he's the flux capacitor.
And it was one of those things where he was like, and because of me, I knew it got created. And I was like, what could this be used for besides mass destruction? And then when...
So you're saying that the whole time he was kind of like trying to cope. Like
right.
He's trying to...
And it's like somebody builds a weapon. You help somebody build a weapon.
Oppenheimer.
And you're like, they paid me a ton of money to help them. I feel guilty. I shouldn't have helped them, but it was a lot of money. But that guilt the money outweighs the guilt until they use the weapon. And once they use the weapon, you're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done that. It wasn't worth the money.
And but you got to think about it also too. Is like, well, if not me, somebody else would have. The hubris. That's true. That you feel like you're the only person that could have done it.
That's true.
What he should have done is gotten a bunker ready. He
had the money.
He had the money for him and his grandson and his pregnant granddaughter-in-law.
Right, but then you get to that where it was like, oh, he's got guilt money. He's like, I shouldn't be living as high as I am. So I'm going to give my bum of a grandson an exorbitant allowance so that I feel like I'm paying it forward.
Yeah, because in my head I'm like, well, if I didn't think about it, somebody else would have. Yeah. That's how I would wash away the guilt, because it's like, it's true. You can't be the only person that could have thought about this, unless you're Doc Brown, flux capacitor. But no, like their whole story is like him trying to get his wife a air tank. They have to go to the children's hospital to get air tanks, and he's just really trying to help her survive. And she's just like, "What's the point? My grandson, what happened to my grandson?" And Frank is like, "I'm sorry, babe, he's dead."
Yeah, he's not smart enough to have survived this.
Sorry.
And then basically they're looking for an air tank because they're old, so they have oxygen tanks. That sounds terrible. She had just recently had surgery.
Yeah.
So then then he knows. He's like, hey, if we're using the air tanks, if we're just breathing in the oxygen, it's keeping that parts per billion low enough that the pathogen's not going to hurt us.
Yeah, so we probably build an immunity to it because it's introduced, but not like enough.
Right.
So it's crazy. Yeah, and then unfortunately, he sees Alexis down there, and it's so funny how she dies. She just like lays down like. Like she didn't want to like collapse, like commit to the fucking drop.
Yeah.
She just like slowly laid down. That's how I laid down after the gym. Like, oh. It's so funny to me, and like the whole time he's just trying to make her want to survive. Because his wife is like, everybody that we love is dead, and this is where we got the quote from at the beginning. But he's like, but not everybody that I love is dead. Right. Which is like really like cute. Also, just because it's like, it just shows you how much more he loves his wife.
Than anything else, yeah.
But he's also like, he knows that obviously she loves him as well, and he's just trying to give her the will to keep going. Right. Because it's again also like super unfair. You guys have already lived a full life. But yeah, and so I believe they're the only ones that actually make it out of this movie alive. We don't get a clear distinction.
We don't.
But because he was the one that did say, he's like, it's only going to take 8 days.
Right.
If we could survive for 8 days with these air tanks, we can come outside and we'll be fine. Right. And that's what they do at the end. They take off the masks. And like also the wife looks like she's kind of like resigned. Like, well, if we die here, that's fine. We're in the grass under the sun. Right. And we probably, obviously when you're that old, you're like, I've already lived a pretty full life. So. And then the movie doesn't end with them. It actually ends with Rosario Dawson and Josh Hartnett while he's screaming at her to just please stay.
Right. Yeah.
But
and it's a little like it's with Frankie the older guy. It's a little bit of that. Everybody's dying because of something that I was a part of, so I feel even more responsible to at least have the one person I love survive. That's like my mission. It's like
and that's old love.
I can't be the person who killed everybody. I got to at least save one person.
Yeah, and if that one person could be the person I love the most in this world,
right?
It's pretty much like Nicolas Cage and his pig from Pig.
Yeah.
Where's my pig? But no, yeah, and then the movie ends. Kind of we don't get much of a resolution. We don't know who survives, who dies.
Right, because you like you said, yeah, you don't get anything except for the youngest couple.
Yeah,
doing the do.
Yeah, doing the do. All right, cool. Before we get into our thoughts about the movie, let's go to our other section, high star, low star.
So we don't have a 10, but we get a 9. Subtle, mature, end-of-time love story. A strangely compelling end-of-the-world tale that could easily have gone astray, but did not, due to the intimacy of the relationships told through this exquisite writing and performances. Told in a mosaic fashion that builds to create a beautiful whole. The film first intrigues and then inch by inch draws you in. Wonderful performances all around from veterans and newcomers alike. Always a sign of an excellent director. Frank, Gina shine in the mature, understated way of older greats. Josh Hartnett also brought something special to the role, as did Rosario Dawson. But it was Teresa Palmer who brought an exquisite, luminous, and fragile element to her role and really brought the true soul of the whole movie. An actress well worth keeping an eye out for. A movie that transcends its not so uplifting subject matter to somehow create an uplifting movie in a melancholy kind of way. Well worth a deeper look.
Sometimes commas matter, guys. I think that would have helped you a little bit, right? And then we have a 1 out of 10 terrible. This is a waste of an hour and a half of my life, and I'll never get it back. I never write reviews on movies, but I just had to do it for this one to prevent anyone else from watching this pile of garbage and going through the torture and torment I did. This is one of the, if not the worst movie I've ever seen. There's supposed to be another comma over there, guy. Even with a decent cast and good acting, it still couldn't help this movie. I cannot believe that I kept watching this after the first 30 minutes. I guess I thought the next 60 would be couldn't be as bad as the previous 30. It was almost like someone shot all the movies, scenes of a movie, shuffled them, and linked them all together. I spent most of the movie confused, and I was so relieved when it finished. It wasn't that I didn't get the storyline, I did. I was just so confused as to why the actors agreed to such a shamble of a movie. Please don't waste your time. Find something else to watch. Yeah, like the points for like at least my review is like the mosaic fashion that they had shot this movie in could be a lot like very jarring for movie goers.
Yeah.
For the casual movie watcher, you're like, oh, because like we were saying, like I don't know where I'm at the timeline.
They needed to do something, a little something to specify that timeline variance a little better. It made it like Westworld.
Yeah.
Except for at Westworld, that was the whole like
Point.
fun of it was like, hey, at the end this was timelines and you didn't know that. Ha ha ha.
We're in the future.
Where like like if it was just like
linear.
Well,
straightforward.
you guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like he had like almost a buzzed head.
Yeah.
If they would have
Gave
him like longer hair in one timeline, and then you could have you were like, oh, when he met her, he had longer hair. Now he's got short hair. It would have made more
a nice distinction,
a little distinction.
Yeah.
Like I said, with the older people, it was like, oh, hey, they look healthy. Then they look like they're in the hospital, and then they're in wheelchairs. Mm-hmm. So it's really easy to tell the timeline with them.
Yeah, same with Josh Hartnett. He could have been like super unkempt when he was like unemployed,
right.
But then when he was employed or something, he could have like had like a nice neat look to him.
Right? Yes. Yeah.
I think because then like I feel like some directors feel like, oh, it's just so lazy if I put like a little date stamp or something during scenes, but you could also do it in the visual factors.
Right.
Yeah, like the Penn Badgley one would probably be the most like in your face without having to be like, because you could definitely tell with the old people where they were at the timeline. With the mask and everything.
Yeah.
But with Penn Badgley, if you just put like the buzz cut and then he has longer hair here, shorter here, you can kind of piece it together in your mind.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I think this whole movie, like, wasn't it just like sort of like possibly a metaphor for just like these three different distinct relationships at different times?
I feel that's exactly what it was trying to signify.
Yeah.
That was my really my only problem was I came into this movie with a very different expectation because watching the trailer's like this riveting. This is like Outbreak. This is like like World War Z. Like it makes it look like it's these couples trying to survive through the apocalypse. And it's not. It's these couples trying to deal with the thought that they may be dying.
Yeah, and not only that too, but it's also just like the problems the internal problems that they had within their own relationships is very relatable for each of those stages.
Right.
Because like I mean, I haven't gotten to the Josh Hartnett, Rosario, Dawson portion of I don't know if I'll ever get married at this point. Who knows? Maybe I will. Maybe I'll just go back to the motherland and ship me one. That's what my uncle keeps telling me. He's like, just go back to the Philippines, my boy. You can find one there. I ain't gonna lie, I've been on the Filipino TikTok lately, and I'm like, whoa, they didn't look like this when I was there. That's crazy. I got that blue passport. But I could definitely relate with the Penn Badgley situation. Like, I'm I'm older than I think what they're portraying in this movie. Just because, like, it would have just made way more sense to be like, hey, nice seeing you, but like I'm with my fiance or I'm with my girlfriend. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like small portions like that. Obviously, also the disconnect between him and her because she's probably from a more moderate like class family, maybe like middle class or something. And obviously, he's rich. He was, he grew up with his rich grandpa,
Right.
and
Right.
so if you like, you could also just take away this whole pandemic situation and had just made this, like that whole theme as well. But like throwing in the whole pandemic, you could also see the differences in how these people are reacting.
Right.
Right? Because you obviously are in the Frank and no, I'm just kidding. Not even that much far apart. No, Colby's definitely he's gone through the Rosario Dawson Josh Hartnett situation. And like did that kind of like did you see a little bit of your younger self in that Josh Hartnett character?
I did. It was definitely like, yeah, like it I feel like, yeah, like you said, it's like this could be even more prevalent for an older audience than a younger one because
Yeah.
younger audience may not be able to appreciate the. And I'm not to Frank's age, but like it, but I could see it, like.
Yeah.
Definitely, got a kid just turned 21, and it's like, oh, if he,
Oh.
how would I deal with that if it was, that they're across country, across town, whatever, and that they're probably didn't make it. Is it still, what do you do to survive after that?
Yeah. But it's also like, like even if like you could still be young and still like look at Frank and his wife, Anna, I believe is her name.
Yeah.
And like, cause then like, every time you like when you go out to places and you see two old couple, and they're still like walking hand in hand,
Right.
and then you're like, oh, I wish time, I wish I could find a love like that, Obviously the pessimist in me, well, yeah, but like, he probably didn't make 100K back then, He doesn't look like he was 6 foot. I don't know if that qualifies. It's funny because then like there's like a good and bad of like that kind of love, right?
Right.
Because like obviously the more like traditional roles were much more simplified back then, and all that stuff. But it's also like when people talk about like arranged marriages, how those people never get divorced, they kind of just fall in love or something.
Right.
Sometimes,
right, yeah.
but like now it's just like it's a whole different dating situation, and now everyone has like prerequisites. But then like when you look at like Teresa, I feel like one thing I do gotta say, I think Teresa Palmer during this time, I think she was much more new to the Western audience. I think she probably did work a lot in Australia, but man, I think like she probably brought her A game. I feel like she brought her A game to this whole acting thing.
Right. Yeah. And it's interesting because there was not very many reviews for this movie, and all the reviews just crapped on her. Like she was the worst part of the movie, and I didn't feel that at all. Like you said, I thought that she was very strong in this.
Yeah. And I was like, I think that's why I like her more than Kristen Stewart because she's not so wooden in her acting.
Yes.
Because like you could like the concern, like the joy, the portions where she shows like pure happiness. It's very endearing.
Right.
And then like when she goes and she has like those episodes, it's also like kind of scary that when she goes into those episodes and like you put yourself in the shoes of Penn Badgley, seeing your partner like go through something like that, you'd be worried.
Right.
And she had like great facial acting. Like when she would have those episodes, she had this great look of concern on her face, or like this empty look.
Yeah.
And then
like
when
she kind of went blank.
Yeah, and I thought I did wonderful in this movie. I think.
Yeah,
I
agree. I didn't understand.
They probably thought it was Kristen Stewart. That's why they already had this prerequisite of hate for that, especially for like 2014 during the whole Twilight situation. Yeah, because honestly, I feel like Josh Hartnett was probably the one that kind of cheesed this movie.
Yeah, I know, and it still wasn't bad.
Yeah,
it was.
Bad. But his performance in Black Mirror during that episode,
right.
that was That was really good. I got to show you the trailer for his new movie coming out before you leave, just so you can check it out. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I thought this movie was. I think this movie is fine. Like, that's really just my thought. It's fine. Because I think I pretty much said a good decent.
Yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed the movie, but it was when you expect it to be like this, like a riveting suspense movie, like the trailer portrays it to. It's a weird mind shift because like that happens a lot. You like go into a movie and you're like it's not what I expected, and it wasn't. I enjoyed it, but if I went in, somebody was like, hey, this is going to be more like The Notebook than Outbreak, I would have gone in with a different mindset, and I would have like immediately been rolling with it instead of like fighting against it, waiting for something to happen.
Don't worry. I told my best friend I thought Pig was going to be like John Wick with Nicolas Cage. I think I told you that too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then when you watch it, you're like, this isn't like John Wick at all.
Right.
But this is riveting.
Exactly.
It was still good though, right?
Yeah.
It was still very enjoyable.
Nick Cage. So.
But yeah, what's it called? Thank you guys for joining us. We are coming up to our hour, so make sure to check out all our other months down below. We have a bunch for you.
Yeah, we got oh man, like I said, we got
the actor months.
But we got all the holidays. We got months for. We got a musical month. We got a live action anime month.
So we have a plethora.
Yeah, if you like any type of movie, we have a month for you.
But we do our reviews in 4 different sections. We have streaming, DVD, Blu-ray, and the Ultimate Box Collection. Colby, where are you at for this one?
I would probably watch this again, but I unfortunately don't know if I'd go more than streaming on this. It's just, maybe DVD, but
no. Like, you said streaming. This is the first. I think this would be one of the first streamings for COVID. This is actually surprising because I think I would go DVD for this one. As much as like I kind of like harped on this movie, I think the acting was pretty strong. Obviously, I feel like there's not a huge amount of rewatchability, but I did enjoy it, even though the jumping around and everything was so jarring. Mm-hmm. You know, but like I also like it kind of almost felt like a student film. Like a really well produced student film.
Yeah, I don't know what the studio was, but definitely felt very indie.
Amateur, yeah, like very indie.
Yeah.
Like everything was shot on a DSLR or something like that. They're like, oh, let's try out this DSLR thing. But I like all the actors in here, especially Frank, but it's only mainly because of Frank, the Frank and the Robot movie. Well, he was like committing crimes, wasn't he?
Yep.
He was a retired cat burglar, and he made this robot do crime with him. That's so awesome. Oh man, it was just something to kind of start to show off Rosario Dawson's. Her acting. She did good in here as well. Too. Yeah, don't get me wrong. But what's it called? Thank you guys for joining us. We're coming up to our closing. We want to thank you guys for checking us out, and make sure to check out our links down below where we have our Facebook and our Twitter, our Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and we're trying to post more and more on those. So you'll give them a like and a share, and hey, that's the easiest way if you want to send us a comment or a suggestion. Thank you guys for joining us. My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check out this theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. It's on our album Music Podcast 3, and our Bandcamp is down below.
Thank you.